What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Buzz. Khamzat Chimaev is facing major backlash online after his latest ESPN interview, where he called out Alex Pereira and claimed that Powhatan is scared of him and running away. Fans reacted sharply, criticizing Chimaev's comments, especially since Pereira is currently pushing for a far more dangerous challenge against Jon Jones at heavyweight. Many argued that facing Jones is a significantly tougher stylistic test than anything Chimaev could offer right now, making Khamzat's call-out appear overconfident and out of touch. Social media quickly mocked Chimaev's remarks, pointing out that Pereira has made his intentions very clear. He wants his next fight at heavyweight, not at light heavyweight and not against contenders like Carlos Ulberg. Pereira's ambitions are aimed at the very top, either Jon Jones or the winner of Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane. This comes on the heels of Pereira's dominant UFC 320 performance, where he avenged his loss to Ankalaev with brutal ground-and-pound elbows. In a recent Instagram update, Pereira also revealed that he has not stepped onto the mat since UFC 320. Suggesting he suffered a lingering foot injury during the fight. Despite that, he assured fans that his recovery is going well and that he is targeting an early 2026 return, keeping excitement high for what could become one of the most ambitious multi-division runs in UFC history. Chimaev, however, doubled down during his interview. He insisted the UFC does not want to give him Pereira and claimed Alex previously accepted the fight, but later changed his tune. Chimaev also dismissed the idea that Pereira is a bigger star, saying he gained more views with a simple Instagram story than Pereira gets for a full fight. Still, he added a note of respect, acknowledging Pereira as one of the best strikers in the sport with dangerous knockout power. Yet Chimaev maintained that Pereira is not on his level and argued that if you ask fans worldwide who would win, 99% would pick me. Before we jump into the next story, we have a small favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel and tap the bell icon. It really helps us out and ensures you'll never miss an update. Move on to another news. Merab Dvalishvili's coach John Wood has finally addressed the backlash surrounding his corner advice during Merab's fight against Petr Yan. Fans and analysts heavily criticized Wood for repeatedly telling Merab he was winning even though he was clearly behind on the scorecards. In his recent interview with Ariel Helwani, Wood openly admitted the mistake, explaining that he genuinely believed Merab had secured the early rounds at the time. According to him, Merab looked busier, more aggressive, and appeared to be pressing the action, which influenced his assessment in the heat of the moment. Wood acknowledged that, after reviewing the fight, Yan had the more significant moments, landing the heavier strikes, causing visible damage, and drawing stronger reactions from the crowd and judges. He admitted that the optics, especially the blood and the momentum shifts, played a major role in how the fight appeared in real time. Wood stressed that cornering during intense, fast-paced fight can distort perspective, and although the team felt confident in the corner that they were ahead, he recognized that the call may have been wrong and expressed his responsibility to improve and avoid similar errors in the future. Meanwhile, former champion Sean O'Malley weighed in on the situation, suggesting the UFC is unlikely to rebook Merab versus Yan anytime soon. He argued that Yan clearly dominated the last fight, which benefits him politically in the division. O'Malley has already beaten Yan in a close contest, one many fans and analysts believed Yan deserved, so a scenario where Merab doesn't become champion keeps O'Malley's path to reclaiming the belt far more open. The UFC, however, is expected to push for immediate rematch given Merab's incredible winning streak, which nearly tied Anderson Silva's historic run. Looking ahead, Umar Nurmagomedov is preparing to face Deiveson Figueiredo for a guaranteed title shot once Yan and Merab settled their rivalry in 2026. The matchup has already generated major buzz. Umar is widely regarded as one of the most technically polished fighters in the division, capable of fluidly blending elite grappling and sharp, composed striking. Wood concluded by reiterating that the heat of the moment can easily distort judgment, perspective, shift, angles deceive, and the intensity of the fight can mislead even experienced coaches. He stressed the importance of staying objective and ensuring that mistakes like this are corrected moving forward. Move on to another news. Donald Trump made headlines last night at the Kennedy Center Honors Gala after announcing what he called the biggest UFC event in history set to take place right outside the White House. According to Trump, the card will feature an unprecedented 8 or 9 championship fights, more than doubling the UFC's all-time record of 3 title bouts on a single event. The spectacle is planned as part of the United States' 250th birthday celebration, combining patriotic energy with one of the most ambitious MMA events ever attempted. Trump revealed that the event will include a pre-fight dinner, attended by high-ranking government officials, international very important person guests, all seated cageside alongside him and UFC President Dana White. While Trump originally aimed for a live attendance of 25,000, security requirements have drastically reduced those numbers. Despite the smaller on-site crowd, the move to Paramount for the 2026 broadcast is expected to produce the most-watched UFC event of all time. Fans are already buzzing. Clips of Trump's announcement have gone viral across social media, with debates erupting over dream matchups, potential champion involved, and which fighters Dana White might be holding back for months, specifically to stack this historic card. Trump emphasized that every bout will be a championship fight or a legendary-type matchup, describing the upcoming night as something unlike anything the sport has ever seen. He added that a brand new arena is being constructed near the front entrance of the White House, with an estimated capacity of 5,000 to 6,000 fans inside. Behind it, he claimed, space will be set up for another 100,000 spectators with massive screens, displaying the event effectively, turning the entire South Lawn into a festival-style fight venue. Trump repeatedly called UFC 250 an amazing night and hinted that demand for tickets is already overwhelming. However, not everyone is convinced. MMA outlets such as MMA Junkie have reported that the card may not be as stacked as Trump suggested. While the event will undoubtedly feature major names, insiders claim not all champions will be competing, and expectations should be tempered until official fight announcements are made. Still, whether exaggerated or not, the anticipation surrounding the UFC's White House megacard is already sky-high. If even part of Trump's promise materializes, the event could become one of the most historic nights in MMA history. Move on to another news. Dana White has finally addressed the escalating feud between Ilia Topuria and Petr Yan, a storyline that has dominated UFC headlines all week. The tension reignited after Yan's post-fight interview with Russian outlet Golos OV MMA, where he delivered far harsher remarks toward Merab Dvalishvili than anything he had said publicly in English. Yan claimed he broke Merab, a statement that quickly spread across social media and inevitably caught the attention of Ilia Topuria. Topuria and Yan's rivalry isn't new. The two were originally scheduled to fight back in 2018, when Ilia was just 21 and preparing for his UFC debut. The bout fell apart, with Yan ultimately facing Jin Soo Sun instead. Despite the cancellation, the animosity never fully faded. Over the years, Topuria has clashed with several fighters ranging from Bilal Muhammad to Cody Garbrandt, developing a reputation for heated exchanges with almost anyone on the roster. So when Yan's comments resurfaced, Topuria wasted no time jumping onto Instagram Live to send Yan yet another warning. As the online back and forth intensified, Dana White was asked to weigh in on the brewing drama. Rather than fueling the fire, Dana dismissed the situation entirely, emphasizing that this type of conflict is simply part of the UFC's culture. He criticized fans and media members for blowing Ilia's comments out of proportion and reminded everyone that trash talk isn't just normal, it's expected. According to Dana, the fact that Topuria wasn't involved in the original fight doesn't matter. In his words, "This is how the fight business works across all sport. Rivalries spark, emotions flare, and competitors talk, whether it's in the UFC, the NBA, the NFL, or Major League Baseball." He stressed that the UFC will never try to control what fighters say or how they express themselves, reiterating that verbal exchanges have always been a fundamental part of combat sports. Dana closed by making it clear that drama like this will never disappear from the UFC. Fighters are passionate, outspoken, and competitive. Heated words and intense rivalries are simply the nature of the game. No one should expect that to change anytime soon. Move on to another news. Robert Whittaker has shared his reaction to Petr Yan's shocking and decisive victory over Merab Dvalishvili at UFC 323. Prior to the event, Whittaker openly admitted he didn't give Yan much of a chance. Merab had been a dominant champion known for his relentless pace, elite conditioning, and overwhelming wrestling pressure. Many believed Yan would struggle to keep up. But as Whittaker watched the fight unfold, his perspective changed instantly. After the bout, Whittaker praised Yan for turning back the clock and delivering a performance reminiscent of the fighter he was before the infamous illegal knee incident against Aljamain Sterling, an error that cost him the bantamweight title and drastically shifted the course of his career. According to Whittaker, the Petr Yan who stepped into the octagon against Merab looked like the complete, technical, and dangerous version of Yan the division once feared. Whittaker explained that Yan showed answers to every position, demonstrate world-class ability in wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and especially kickboxing. But what impressed him most was Yan's ability to blend all those skills seamlessly. From the opening seconds to the final moments, Yan pushed the pace, controlled exchanges, and never once allowed Merab to dictate the fight. Whittaker highlighted how Yan didn't slow down at any point, didn't concede a single meaningful position, even took Merab down, a rare sight, given Merab's reputation as the division's most suffocating grappler. Whittaker described the performance as the most polished, clinical, and evolved version of Petr Yan that the UFC has ever seen. He emphasized that Yan not only matched Merab's pace, but dismantled his game entirely, something no one had done before. For Whittaker, Yan's performance wasn't just impressive, it was a statement to the entire division. In Whittaker's words, the Petr Yan who fought that night doesn't lose to anyone. The skill level, composure, timing, and adaptability displayed were on a tier far above the rest of the bantamweight division. Whittaker concluded by calling the performance phenomenal and suggested that if Yan continues fighting at that level, he could reclaim his position as one of the best pound-for-pound competitors in the UFC. Move on to another news. Tom Aspinall has shared his reaction to the chaotic and unforgettable UFC 323 event. And one moment in particular left him visibly shaken. When Alexander Pantoja suffered a gruesome arm injury during the title fight, Aspinall admitted he couldn't even continue watching. The moment the injury occurred, his immediate reaction was shock and discomfort. He described it as disgusting and said he had no desire to replay the moment, adding that seeing it twice was more than enough. Aspinall expressed sympathy for both fighters involved, noting how unfortunate the situation was from every angle: an awful way to lose a championship, an awful way to win one, and an overall disappointing end to a high-stakes title bout. Beyond the injury discussion, Aspinall was asked for his pick for Fighter of the Year, and he didn't hesitate. He chose Ilia Topuria, praising him as unbelievable and emphasizing that he believes Topuria has many more successful years ahead in the sport. Aspinall's admiration for Topuria's skill set and mentality was clear, highlighting how consistently impressive the featherweight champion has been. When asked to choose the knockout of the year, Aspinall admitted he might be slightly biased because his favorite moments tend to come from events he attended in person. Nevertheless, he confidently selected Ilia Topuria's knockout of Charles Oliveira, calling it one of the most spectacular knockouts he has ever witnessed live. He recalled the atmosphere that night as incredible, describing the electricity in the arena when Topuria delivered the finishing blow. For Aspinall, that moment stood out not only for the technical brilliance of the knockout but also for the sheer energy and emotion inside the venue. Aspinall's reflections highlight just how wild and impactful UFC 323 was, marked by shocking injuries, elite performances, and memorable highlights. And through it all, Ilia Topuria emerged as the fighter who impressed him the most, both for his dominance and for the excitement he brings to every event. Move on to another news. Sean O'Malley was fired up while watching Petr Yan defeat Merab last night. O'Malley, who has shared the cage with both Yan and Merab, posted a reaction video on his YouTube channel, breaking down the chaotic main event in real time. According to O'Malley, Petr Yan came out sharp and precise, landing a clean 3-2 combination that immediately got his attention. He described Yan's timing as perfect, especially when Yan followed up with a well-executed double-leg takedown. As Merab held on, O'Malley couldn't help but highlight the intensity, saying Merab was holding on for dear life while Yan continued to apply pressure. O'Malley noted a huge right hand from Yan that visibly damaged Merab's face, adding that Merab looked beat up and showing signs of exhaustion. In one of the most shocking moments, Yan lifted Merab off the ground and slammed him straight onto his head, which O'Malley jokingly said might become his new screensaver. Even after the slam, Merab kept charging forward with relentless aggression, something O'Malley called both wild and impressive. Yan then attacked the body with a powerful kick to Merab's midsection, which reminded O'Malley of the body shot finishes he has scored in his own fights. He pointed out that if Yan ended the fight with a liver shot, he would feel a personal connection to it, saying he had done the same thing before. O'Malley reacted to Merab's corner, claiming they were ahead, calling it a bizarre statement considering the visible damage on Merab, his face bleeding, his body compromised, and his pace slowing. O'Malley joked that they might as well have told him he was up 4 rounds, highlighting how unrealistic the advice seemed. As the fight progressed, O'Malley described Yan cracking Merab clean on the top of his head, causing Merab to wobble badly. He believed Yan was close to finishing the fight, especially after landing a heavy liver shot that left Merab disoriented and unsure of which corner to return to. O'Malley also pointed out a moment where Merab was adjusting his mouthpiece while still trying to advance, clearly hurt. Yan looked sharp and composed throughout, capping off his performance by dumping Merab to the canvas with another strong takedown right in front of Hunter Campbell. O'Malley ended his reaction by saying he needed to text Hunter about the moment. Move on to another news. Merab Dvalishvili received a thoughtful and heartfelt gesture from Nina. Drama following his tough loss at UFC 323. Wanting to lift his spirits, Nina visited Merab at his apartment and surprised him with a box of sweet buns, something small but meaningful to brighten his day. Merab expressed genuine gratitude and admiration for her kindness, repeatedly saying, "God bless Nina Drama," as he welcomed her inside. Nina encouraged him to try the pastries, and Merab reacted with both humor and appreciation. He reassured her that despite the fight, he was perfectly fine. "I just had a fight, I didn't die. I wasn't sick or anything. I'm totally okay," he said while smiling and pointing out that he felt great. Nina complimented him, telling him he still looked sharp, especially with the glasses he was wearing. Merab joked that the glasses made him look even better, adding a lighthearted moment to the visit. As Nina continued to unpack the treats, she asked whether he wanted a fork, which made Merab laugh. He teased her by saying she was spoiling him too much. "Now we have two spoiled guys. Me and Umar," he joked, sharing the moment with his friend nearby. When he finally opened the box, he was surprised at how good the pastry looked and thanked Nina multiple times for the thoughtful gesture. Merab admired the buns and joked about Umar's appetite, mentioning that Umar eats everything, which made everyone laugh. Nina explained the pastries were made in the traditional Armenian style, which immediately impressed Merab. After taking a bite, he couldn't help but praise the taste, letting out a joyful wow and hallelujah as he enjoyed the treat. The warm interaction clearly lifted his mood after the difficult weekend. In a playful closing moment, Merab turned to the camera and shouted, "Armenia, I'm coming for you," followed by a spirited call-out to Arman Shurikian, "Let's go Arman." The entire exchange showed Merab's positive spirit, humor, and resilience, reminding fans why he remains one of the most likable personalities in the sport.